Award-winning novelist Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie was a guest speaker at the inaugural lecture of the Africa World Lecture Series at Princeton University in the United States, where she introduced Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi as the man who, according to popular opinion, won the presidential election. The award-winning novelist, who had written to U.S. President Joe Biden expressing dissatisfaction over the process of the presidential election, spoke on Wednesday before the Supreme Court judgment on Thursday. She said some of her literary works were inspired by rage, stirred up by the happenings in Nigeria, particularly referencing the elections. Well, while introducing Peter Obi, Chimamanda described him as a man who she deeply respects.
So in Nigeria, when events happen and when there's a big woman or a big man, people say, we want to recognize the presence of... So I'm going to ask you to let me be very Nigerian today and say that I want to recognize the presence of a man I deeply respect and a man who I think is a beacon of hope, not just for Nigeria, but for Africa. And he's the man who many of us know won the elections in Nigeria. He's here with us, Mr. Peter Obi. I just want to let you all know that he's going to tell me off for doing this because he didn't want it to be known. And he is also an example of that very rare quality in politicians, which is genuine humility.
Yes.
You know, Chimamanda is a woman I admire. I always admire Chimamanda every time she speaks. But I really loved that speech she gave there, which is actually true. When you want to introduce a big man in Nigeria, let me welcome. But I also like the fact that, you know, she touched on that very critical aspect of someone who has humility as a politician, which I think it's very important for all politicians to emulate. You have to have that type of humility to go into politics in Nigeria, if possible.
I mean, one thing is certain, Peter Obi stands out when it comes to humility. You know, it's down to earth nature.
Yes.
And a lot of people to him. You can't take that away from him. Chimamanda says that which a lot of people believe in their own opinion won the election. That's our own opinion. But
Yes.
the Supreme Court, which is the highest body, has ruled on this election that President Tinubu won the election. And we must state this constantly as much as possible. You know, because I get, yes, a lot of people feel disgruntled at all of that. But also the authority of the Supreme Court and institution, you know, and that of INEC that returns the election have stated that President Bola Tinubu is elected president, and that has also been confirmed by the Supreme Court. So let us follow that.